Hello everybody, this is Jacob Nolly with the Graphite Lab. In today's Toolbox tutorial, I'm going to be showing you one of our many tools, the Translator. We designed this tool to solve a very common problem for service trades businesses who work in an area where you might have multiple languages spoken in the community. We have customers who are perhaps in Canada and they have French-speaking customers and English-speaking customers, or some of the more southern states in the United States where there are more prevalent Spanish-speaking communities. One of the major issues that a lot of these customers ran into is that when they create invoices, either maybe their technician only primarily speaks another language and they want them converted to English, or perhaps the customer primarily speaks Spanish and the technician that served them only speaks English. So there's a miscommunication there. So we designed this tool called the Translator, which allows you to automatically translate things into other languages. So in the user interface of the toolbox here, I'm going to go ahead and paste in an example invoice. This is just a sample that we created. You can select your input language here. So English, you can also detect it if needed. And we're going to output it to Spanish because we're going to say that this customer speaks Spanish. So we're going to go ahead and click generate. And what this is doing is it's going to run through this entire invoice and create a Spanish version of it. It just takes a couple of seconds for it to run. And it will output the text here. All right, so now you can see it has gone through and it has converted the entire invoice over to Spanish in the exact same format that it was presented in. And then all you have to do is copy to your clipboard and you can go use it in another tool. Now this is great and all, but how do we use this in an automated context? So let's say you have a job that you want done, and let's say in your CRM system, every time an invoice is created, if there's a Spanish speaking tag on that customer, you want that to go ahead and convert the the invoice to Spanish and post a version of it to your ERP system. Here I have a sample Zap example here where basically what we have is a new email. Anytime this email comes through, basically what we want to do is anytime an email comes to this inbox, if that inbox contains, this is just a simple example, you could obviously change this to like an ERP system invoice or something like that. But anytime that an email comes in and in the subject line it says translate, we want to run this through the Graphite Lab toolbox to translate it and send the translated text back. So let me go ahead and show you how this can work. All right, so now I have an email pulled up to myself, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and paste in that same text from earlier with that invoice summary. And I'm going to go ahead and send it, and I have the word translate here. Again, we could always change this out to automatically trigger off of an invoice creation, a job creation, whatever really is needed. Going to go ahead and send that invoice. You send that invoice details over to the email that's being monitored, and then we'll check back in a second to see the invoice get sent back. All right, now we can see that we have gotten a response back from that service that I just created, and it is all those invoice details converted over to Spanish. Again, we can do this with any language. There isn't really a limitation there, and the opportunities are really endless as it comes to automatically kind of bridging gaps for your team, whether it's converting notes for a job that is English-speaking CSR wrote, and you want to provide that to Spanish for maybe your Spanish-speaking technicians, or vice versa, where you want to convert English text from a job invoice from an invoice summary and convert that over for your alternate language customers. So I hope that you found this helpful. If you are interested in getting access to the Graphite Lab Toolbox, please don't hesitate to reach out.